Wassail! It was all a bit backwards then. That feels a bit like me. I feel a bit backwards. So I'm just more excited since I did the burning of my deck to release a life of questions. It was a very extremely cathartic experience. And then I was going to go on Google Chrome here so that I could use the YouTube studio, because I don't like this format where I can't see as much information that you're writing. And Chrome was just being awkward. It wouldn't let me up. It said my browser was old, yet it's a brand new download on a brand new machine. And it was all just getting a bit out of control, and sort of Google frustrations. And in the end, Wassail Harley. And so I decided to just go on this format, and then it took a thumbnail, Wassail Poppy Seed. And here I am with a back to front image, the wrong thumbnail, couldn't change anything, and I feel that's an early message. Also, rather weirdly, my mutton chops, because they're different colours on each side. This one looks way bigger than this one. So when I look at myself, I feel a bit lopsided. Saw someone else's name there and I missed it. Oh, there's lots of you. Wassail Janie, Wassail Charlotte Count. I hope you're recovering well from your surgery. Wassail Dayna, Wassail Navisha. Wassail Annabelle spinning. I think it's that. It's very tiny writing. A Wassail poem. So I'm here with an absolutely gorgeous environment. New deck. It's I had to buy a version with a Spanish title, but it's a deck by Paul Huson, and I've long been looking for new decks, and I actually went out 2 days before the full moon knowing that I was going to build my deck, and I bought 5 new decks, and I showed a picture of them. Wassail Kathy, and I didn't like any of them. So that's not true. There's things about them that work and things that don't work, and so I felt like I couldn't work with them because they were lacking information on the cards, and it meant you would have to kind of look a lot of stuff up. Wassail Sandra. And so I had one that I really liked, and then as I went through shuffling it, some of the images were so violent that I felt like I just couldn't go there. Wassail Caribbean Queen. Wassail Diana. I've already said hello, Diana. So I had this deck. I went out and I bought another couple of decks. I bought a mini tarot Marseille with new images, new drawings of old stuff, and again I wasn't comfortable, and there was this deck, this beautiful deck, Dame Fortune's Wheel Tarot by the gorgeous Paul Huson. I'm in love with Paul Huson, not just because he's an elderly gay man but because he's taken the deck. Yeah, it was that 9 of Pentacles. I couldn't deal with the violence of it, and so I can't use that deck. But all of the decks I bought, the 5, have kind of taught me how to approach the final product as I do the runes. So they're not wasted, but they teach you how cards don't always move in to the right frequency to assist people. So the Quantum Tarot originally it had all the science names on the cards, and when Lascalabo decided to publish it, somehow they removed them, and so you look at the cards and you've got to go to a book, and in the book there's a short definition and a long definition, and they're in two different places, and it becomes really complicated energy. So this gorgeous woodcut, I just want to say, Paul Huson, I love your mind so much. I would love to come and sit and have tea and pick your brains, because you are such an amazing man. So this is a deck, rather rarely for me. I mean, there may be others, but I know that this was created by a gay man, and there's something about an older gay man, there's something about the energy of this deck that's much more honest about things. And I just adore it. At the moment, let's see how it comes. He's rewritten definitions of really fantastic cards, and I am going to use his book to not put the old definitions on. And look, I don't like using books. I think cards should speak for themselves, and they do, but he's had a lifetime of doing all kinds of esoteric and witchcraft study, and he's come up with new meanings, and I think that that's going to be really fascinating, and it's something I've been looking for. It feels like this is a deck for a new age. So I'm just going to start. I don't know what we're doing today. I'm here. What was his name? It's in the title. It's Paul Huson, but I put his name in the title because I really do want to praise this guy. He was a screenwriter. He's written some amazing TV that was on in his time. He studied with all kinds of different esoteric schools. I really want tea with him, and I want to talk to him. I want to know things. So we have a deck. Let's just go into this and see what we get. I tried to put a picture of his cards on the thumbnail, but it took a picture of me when I wasn't paying attention, and I can't remove it. I'll have to do it later, or I'll just leave it there. So, Paul Huson, what would you like to share? Because I have to say, I've never seen a deck that has so much of the energy of the artist and the person who wrote the book in the cards. I really feel him present in these cards. And as I say, I think he's an interesting man. He has his own website full of really amazing stuff. I haven't gone there yet, I'm going to. But I'm just getting used to the cards. Paul Huson deck, yeah, hang on. Paul Huson deck, yes. Wassail, Natalie, Martinez. So let's just see. I might have to bring this a bit nearer. Hold still. Hold on to everything. Oh dear, that's a bit close. But I don't want them to fall on the floor because I can't pick them up off the floor. They will, I know they will. So here we go. Let's have a message for the beautiful, I was going to say 30 people were here, but someone left. Let's have a message. What are we beginning with? Ooh, 9 of Cups. So look, also I'm having to teach myself to take reversals because his reversals are really fascinating. So here is your first look. Welcome, new subscriber. Sorry. So what's the name there? Rigidity. So 9 of Cups. I'm a bit shaky. I had coffee hours ago. I'm full of excitement for this deck. So this is the Nine of Cups. Now look, that's usually the wish card with a big fat man sitting there and a load of cups behind his head. What's interesting about the pip cards on here, he always combines the actual suit number and then he creates a picture. Now, I don't know, how do you feel? Oh, Wassail, Ricky. So this Nine of Cups, you can see a knight. He's in some kind of jousting competition. Now, there's 3 women in an archway. 2 of them seem to be in contact with this crown. But there's something about this one who's putting her hand up and saying to her, oh, back off, lady, this is mine. And I feel not that she's giving it to him. I feel he's had his victory and he's offering it forwards. But there's something about his energy where he's just going to move on past this. This feels like a distraction. There's some other truth to his victorious energy that he's going to move on. He's just pausing to hand over a little gift. So let's see what that comes with. So a very nice opening frequency of making a gift, a token. We have a second one and it's upright. What's that? Yeah, Anoop, I am Anoop's #1 fan. I love Anoop. So here we have the 4 of Cups. And that's also interesting. Ordinarily, you would see 3 cups and the person would be looking at the 3 cups and not noticing a new cosmic arrival. So I'm going to give you the small breakdown. He did publish, Paul Huson did publish his deck originally in a blue box. It's now in a red box. And that comes with his own book with a lot more information. This has been reduced so that it can contain multiple languages. But let's look at the 4 of Cups and see what the beautiful Paul Huson has to say. If I could find my way around the book. So yeah, look, boredom. I want to say this is boredom with the ordinary life, with the rules of society. Boredom. He wants something else. He wishes, there's the wish, he wishes for some kind of new movement. So this boredom is about a discontent, something unpleasing about life. And what's really fascinating is, in reverse, this card means new instruction, new light, and new acquaintances. So I'm having to reorganize my mind as to what all this means. Oh, look, it's a Noops here. Wassail a Noop. So, there's boredom with your ordinary existence, and I want to say that's a message, in a way, how I would read it. I had become bored with the ordinary frequencies of tarot and how we read tarot and all of that kind of rainbow fire energy. This deck, I think he did it in his 60s, and his long-term partner had dementia and died, and I think there's an energy of a crone frequency, an older person's perspective on life within this deck. So it's really interesting. I am so sorry, I really want to pay more attention to what's going up, but it's very difficult on this app version to see things. And as I said earlier, I couldn't get the Google Chrome to update. It was just being difficult, so I might just remove it from my iPad and that'll teach Chrome a lesson. They can't spy on me. So let's just get another card with this, because I feel like I'm doing this in a series of past, present and future. So where's this energy heading? Because it's been, oh, there we go, one on the floor. New beginning, fall. So we have the energy of wishing for something new. The energy of being bored with the current, presently being bored. And the energy of moving forwards into something new. I really absolutely adore these. So cups on the whole have this dark navy blue kind of background to them. So I'm going to give you his little definition of the Fool so that we begin to see how he's thinking. The key word here on this card is madness, meaning innocence, unpredictability and anarchy, which is really wonderful. In reverse, it coming across as stupidity, apathy and mental illness. And I think that's another of these energies where we're talking about air frequency. We've been through, all of us, a very strenuous couple of years. And it's really important for us to look after and seek to correct our own mental strains at the moment. So we've got to be a little bit anarchistic here. We've got to break free of some of the energies we've known before. All of the major arcana have yellow in the background. And there is a sense within these decks where the colours matter to the parts of the body that we're looking at energetically. And yellow, being the solar plexus, is coming across, because it's all the major arcana, as sort of energies that offer themselves to you from outside of yourself. So Dame Fortune's wheel is the fortune is a different frequency to luck. We can often create our own luck, but often fortune strikes like Ophiuchus from out of the blue. It's something that comes in that we have no control over, and it's often very surprising. So that's the first three cards. I think it would be nice to do, because there's not going to be, there's not going to be too many, there's 45 of you. I was thinking maybe we could do some little personal readings with them, but we could be here for 9 years. Is there anyone out there who would like to have a little message from Spirit and Paul Huson? And we'll give it a go. We'll just give it a go and see what happens and see what comes. The thing is, I was going to do all 12 sounds. Okay, so let's start with Laura. Hang on, let me just... Laura and Natalie. This is where you need Eve. So I'll start with Laura and then Natalie, and then I'll get the list going. So Laura and then Natalie. So Laura, I'm going to go with yours first. I will call again. Oh, thanks, Kathy. You tell me who, because it takes a lot of pressure off when you haven't got to do the list yourself. So, Spirit and Paul Huson, because I'm telling you he's in this deck. Do you know, and look, this group, they are so beautiful. All the people that come in here, They have such wonderfully kind intentions. And I would say to all of you, go and look at Anup sound healing. I'm not going to do any sound healing today. I'm still not on my full energy since coming out of the heat of Mexico. But just so that you all know, my original setting off on my journey, which changed and transformed, was I wanted to walk across Europe and walk towards the Himalayas because I really want to meet Anup and share some sound healing. And I will get there. I will get to the Himalayas. So Laura. Laura, you got one falling down there. And you need to remind me that that one is in reverse. When I pick it up, I need to keep it in reverse. Is Remy here? Wassail, Remy, if you're here. Hey! It's beautiful, Remy. Remy and I did the same burning for the moon. Such beautiful people here, all of you. Wassail. I feel, Laura, I feel like your first card has to be read alone first because it's not giving me a second. So you have the Four of Batons in reverse. Now, I'm going to check with him because on the right way up, this is the energy of sociability. But in reverse, it's got something a little bit more exciting, I seem to recall. But as I say, I've got to keep an eye on Paul's meanings because with his wisdom of all these years of studying the esoteric, he's created something very beautiful hidden within these cards. And at the moment, I'm having to re-educate my mind to break free of my standard way in which I would look at them. So the Four of Batons, an increase in advancement and success is coming towards you. So it's not about going out there and just kind of socializing and networking. This is about an energy coming in, a new divine spark energy that's bringing a renewed success. Yeah, me too, Reem. It's really exciting, but for 2 days I wanted to just do the deck straight away. And I can't. I've had to sit and play with it to begin to get a sense of where it changes, because there are some really surprising frequencies that will come out. So I'm going to rifle them again, Laura. And actually, I'm going to put a Marseille on. I'm going to ask, because it came out singularly, there's something you're working on, there's something you're trying to bring into reality at the moment, and you're going to be given an energy boost on it. So one card again. Ooh, there's a lot of truthful movement in this. So we have King of Pentacles. So this is very real world presence. You're bringing something from a creative mind, something you've been thinking about, and you're bringing it in very strongly. So Wassail, Kirsty, you're bringing this into fruition. It's like your focus has been to look for something in the past, and you're taking this energy and you're turning it and delivering it into your future through your now. So the other cards you have here on this energy, you have the Ace of Swords and you have the Chariot. So there's a very powerful, strong, truthful and very celebratory frequency coming upon you. And it is to deliver a project, something you're working on. I mean, I might be missing what you're saying, but that I'm not going to worry too much. I'm just going to read what we're receiving. So, what do you want to add, please, Laura? What do you want to add? So, another single card, again in reverse. It's the Ace of Cups in reverse. Now, again, I'm going to say don't panic, because Paul takes things in a different direction. I have to take my glasses off to read rather than sticking them on the top of my head. Yeah, you see, this is about a transmutation and an exchange. So this is really wonderful energy. I'll show you the card up the right way. So a transmutation, and that's what this is what the energy he was giving me. He's taking something old and renewing it. You're renewing, you're transforming it, you're bringing some kind of new experience to this, Laura. Yeah, I'm glad you like them. You get nailed. I think they're beautiful decks. I've got other decks, but I'm in praise of Paul Huson at the moment. This Ten of Batons has got this frequency of transforming. Again, that energy of transmutation. There's something that needs, and I'm not sensing an overburden this. I'm just sensing it's time to move something forwards. A project that you're working on that needs transforming. And then you've got La Papesse. And both these decks have a female pope rather than the frequency. Actually, she's got a very similar crown. So there's something about this that's got something to do with the ordinariness of like something we are very familiar with, like you're reworking something like a deck of cards and redrawing it. It's like, it feels very much like, I want to say like an art project, but I'm also seeing words, like the combination of art and words to bring things around. So let's get another frequency. This is not so much an esoteric energy. It's something that feels somehow very ordinary, something very simplistic, something that just no one has noticed to do in the way that you're going to. So your last card is down on the floor again. I didn't move the table near enough. Now my knee's in the way. Beautiful. So this is the Star. And in this deck, the Star is male. So this is about the returning of hope. This project that you're working on, Laura, I mean, I see you saying you don't know what it is, but it's definitely something that's in your mind that's been percolating. And it's got something to do with rewriting rules, changing things. It could be something you're doing within your own society of changing something or bringing something forwards, but it's really got this energy of a new frequency to transmute. I mean, it could be you could be the project you're working on, you could be journaling, I could be seeing that, but your hope will return. So something that's been sort of lost slightly, it's the rebirthing of an understanding of how to move. It's getting unstuck. And then you've got the Nine of Cups. So you've got that energy, that the piece that's missing is this huge frequency of this energy coming down and filling all of your cups. There's a renewal frequency. You're moving to a new hoping joyful energy to move forwards with. And then we have the 4. So it ends with where you began. And actually, even Laura, in this, what's that? Okay, well, even in this deck, the Scarabeo have changed the meanings slightly on things. So I'm just going to give you, and I mean, it's single words quite often, but it's just interesting that we're entering a new age. Your message is about a new age. It's about moving forwards. There's something that you grieve that's been like a blockage. I feel like that's about to sort of move forwards and change. So balance 4, alliances, society, reward, after a deserved rest. I feel like you're regenerating, you're recharging, your frequencies have been all over the place, and it's been so difficult for you to see. This card is almost more powerful in reversal, but it's been difficult for you to see that frequency the right way up. And actually, the wrong way up is the way in which you've meant to see it. You've meant to go down that pathway, because that's what, thanks Kathy, that's what will bring you back into a comfortable life. It is that energy, a rebirth of your hope. Yeah, but I really think, Laura, that that's being transformed. You've poured everything out to refill. So it's almost like 9 lessons. I don't mean that they're 9 individual things, but you've been on a learning curve. You've been discovering things about life, and although you've not been able to move it on, nobody has. For the last 2 years, no one could move anything on. And now that energy is transforming for you. So Natalie is next. I hope that helped. I still say there's something going on in your journaling or something. There was really a strong energy, even if it's just something being rewritten in your Wassail and Nub. Have a lovely evening. It's probably middle of the night where you are. I'm so far behind here. So let's go with Natalie. I'll have a sip of water. Oh, Eve's here too now. Wassail, Eve. Kathy's being you today, so you can relax. That's if you want to. There is Dame Fortune's wheel on the bottom. I love this deck. We've got to all keep thinking about beautiful Paul Huson, who made this deck. Wassail, organic intelligence. Love and light to you and up, you gorgeous soul. Hey, Eve the Muggle. No, I'm not doing timestamps. Don't worry about that, Kathy. So Kathy's being half Eve, not full Eve. So Natalie, what would Spirit and Paul Huson like? It's on the bottom again. Right, for Natalie. I've got 2, we'll come back to the next one. Oh, and I'm doing them with reversals. So you've actually got the Fool upside down. So I would say immediately that there's an energy frequency here that you've been caught in a mental confusion. The last period of your life, Natalie, has been causing you a lot of mental strain. I'll show you all the card the right way up. It's interesting that these cards feel they're quite brutal in their beauty. And that's something which I think we need to get used to more. That we sometimes need to hear more, I don't mean, really brutal energies, but we need to hear frankness. We need to understand certain things. So I think that there's an energy here where you keep trying to bring around a new frequency for yourself, a new start, a new beginning, but somehow the mental strain of it seems too vast, like mountainous, and overwhelming. So I'm going to put some other little decks there. I just want to check something. Just chat amongst yourselves for a moment. I think there's something, hang on a sec. I just need to do something. I've not been using this little deck very much. But I need to work out what's... It feels like there's a series of the cards missing, and I know that's not going to be true. But in terms of the pips, I just need to pull something out because something's not making sense in my head. Again, I feel like that's part of your message, Natalie. I think you go through certain things and you're making great waves to move through things. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, there's an error in this deck. I'm going to explain it to you in a minute once I've checked it. I need to work out what we're looking at. How bizarre! I feel like that's what you've been doing, Natalie. It's like seeing something with fresh eyes. I need to find two that match. I feel like they've given me... I mean, like here, that's obviously the 7 of swords. But it feels like I need to match them up. Just bear with me 1 second. This is this is the 2 of swords and the 2 of rods. So basically, there's very little difference in the way in which they're formed, and I didn't notice that before. I am with you. I am going to do your reading. I am going to continue, but I need to be able to identify. That one's obvious. It has a sword. But the difference between them is quite difficult. Where's 2 10s? What have we got on the 2 10s? See here, there's swords. and there's not in that one. So it would seem that the clubs are the ones with the flowers. But I'm sure that's not going to add up in one of them. So let's look at the sixes. That's very strange artwork, people. So like here, we're going to have to assume that curves are swords and lines are batons. Just so that I get this clear when I'm helping you, because they were coming out too frequently and I'm not reading them in the right suit. Oh, that's so funny. I love them, but that is an energy where you got to watch and think. But even in that is an idea of being vigil. So, Natalie, your fool. What are the pip cards? What are the smaller message that's behind this frequency? So here we have one that's quite clear, Seven of Swords. Now, ordinarily, the Seven of Swords, Natalie, as we know, is about kind of trying to get out of something, trying to exit something. And within this, the Seven would say secrets and a search for the truth. But in this wonderful way in which Paul is rewriting his perception of how these things need to be for the modern world, is that the Seven of Swords becomes hope. It becomes an intention, an expectation to vow to find a way through this energy. And even though you don't know with the moon what the energy frequency is that you're moving through, it's bringing you to Queen of Pentacles. It's bringing you into an energy of reigning over your own existence in the real world. So this is really lovely energy from your past. It's like you've started to make a step. Now, your second card that came out is the King of Coins, and this is Alexander. Now, the reason the word Alexander is on there is in the original French playing deck, because King and Queen in French are reine, roi and reine, they don't put the same letter on, so they use a D for the woman, dame. But in French, the playing cards, each one has a name of either a true person or someone in mythology. So here we've got Alexander. In your present energy, there's something about this desire to be the Queen of Pentacles. You're right in the process now of superseding that energy. So, let's have a little look at Alexander in here. Alexander. So this is about being a negotiator. This is the energy of being in a wealth, and it is a physical wealth. I don't want to say it's a monetary wealth. I want to say it's a physical wealth. So from this kind of fragility and inability to see a way out of mental strain, you're currently moving into this energy, and there's something of the Aries about him. Look, conquering yourself, actually conquering your woes, Natalie, your worries. You have that energy to conquer yourself. So let's put some little Marseille on Alexander. I want to say Ganesh, because Alexander he went through the mountains with elephants. So the Hanged Man upside down. So getting back up, that's an energy that Reem kept seeing. Get off the cross. And it's interesting that on the plane here, I lost my Hanged Man card from my deck from 37 years ago. And that was the cue to let go of the deck. And there's no point to keeping things that don't serve, because I only have a suitcase, and there's no point to giving it to somebody else because it's now a broken deck. It was interesting that it was me coming out of that frequency, and it's the same for you. You're coming out of this, or you've come out of this frequency. You're reaching that point where you're beginning to know your own mind, know your own desires. Le pendu, the hanging, the waiting is over. It's time now in your present to move forwards, Natalie. 7 of Cups. No, 8 of Cups. So 8 of Cups. In this deck, maturity. So that's also interesting in both of these new decks. The 8 of Cups is not that wall with 1 cup missing that you walk away from in search of the 9th. This is a completely different energy. This is what I mean about these decks having a kind of crone frequency. You're growing up. You're being represented by the ultimate card in the real world, the King of Pentacles, being almost capable of, I want to say, teaching others how to get out of this state, how to get out of the sense of losing your mind to refinding it. How you've achieved that is worthy of a shared experience with others. So where's the energy taking you? Knight of Coins. Now in this deck, the knave, the queen and the king have the French names, but the chevaliers, the knights, do not. So I think we need to see this card coming from Wassail, Paris. Sorry I haven't been singing everyone's names. Picking up from your now and moving slowly, surely into a new energy. It's also interesting in this deck that coins actually represent clubs. So there's a slight variation there on how most people would think. So this Chevalier, there's an energy of your, I'm seeing the energy of your heart being enlivened in the real world. I mean, like smiling at a plant or seeing a bird fly by. That's part of this recovery process, is seeing the joy in the natural world around you. Knight of Coins. Queen of Coins. So we've got King, Queen and Knight of Coins. This is a really secure energy. This is a knowingness. This is a being in the real world. And I really do get that sense of having a benevolent impact on other people. Have nice lunch. Don't say lunch, then I'll want lunch. I've only just had breakfast. This Queen of Swords, I see what's causing. This is interesting. The Queen of Cups in this deck and the other deck, Natalie, has both love and a sword. It represents Judith, and it's about how there are sacrifices to be made to save others. There's something of the teacher energy in what you're coming to. I feel like it's like you discussing the return to your mental stability, discussing your return to the world. I was seeing that as coins, and it's actually the Queen of Swords, but there's something about it being done. It is done. The energy that you've been moving from is completed. So I'm going to ask for one more on that. Interesting that she came out looking like a coin, a pentacle. Like being part of a family, but not the true member of the family, but nonetheless creating a family that is secure. And then we have l'amoureux, the lovers, that energy of not making a decision so much as co-creating. I want to say the spirit, but that's not the energy. Co-creating, being an educator within community. That's what this end part is giving me. So all that you've been through is like having an ability to aid and assist others, Natalie. I am in Buenos Aires. So who's next, Kathy? Susan. So we're going on to Susan. Tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. So, I'm going to do a little bit of a... Let's get a little bit of this going. Just because I like the smell. I'm hearing something dancey tunes in the background. I can't place it. I can hear the tune, but it needs words to attach to it to make sense somehow. Susan. Bear in mind that even though this is a reading for Susan, it will contain information in it for lots of people. So they are personal, but they are also stories of energies that abound. I spent ages the last few days with the 5 decks I bought that I haven't liked, doing a whole series of readings, and they just didn't have any story in them. The cards wouldn't talk. And so now that I have this beautiful Paul Huson deck, praise Paul Huson, love and affection to Paul Huson's mind for coming up with this deck. Paul and Spirit, because he's very present in these cards. I feel his energy more than I've ever felt some other creator's energy in the deck. What message do you have for Susan, please? What message do you have for Susan? What message do you have for Susan? Now, I'm not going to take... I was going to say I'm not going to take that one, Susan. But something whacked its finger in my head. It's the 3 of Swords in reverse. Now, this is one of the rare cards because in his energy for the different suits, he only uses black at the back on certain cards. And I think there are moments when we need to deal with and appreciate that there is sometimes an energetic darkness or stuckness or nighttime vision that holds us in an energy that we're not necessarily comfortable with. Okay? So 3 of Swords, 3 of Swords. Let's see what we've got. So, Susan, have you had someone in your family with dementia? Because that's the kind of energy here. or working with people with dementia, or working with somebody who's just in a really deep depression. Or loss. There could be an energy here of grief. Like, okay, Susan. It's been, I would say, more than earlier. This has been very heavy for you. Very, very sort of not self-destructive, but very, very uncomfortable for you to move out of. Let's see what we can find, because you need to shift this. I'm getting this real energy, Susan, of like the pinpricks of star frequencies, of an energy that's out there waiting to come in for you. So 5 of batons, 5 of swords. At least they're making sense now. There's a real motion here, somehow of, I'm going to hold it this way because they're such beautiful cards. Even the sadness in this, crowned with sadness, there's something about you not seeing the benefits of what you've suffered. Now, 5s are always traditionally, Susan, that energy of a change or a trouble. So the 5 of swords is nobody wins a war. Everyone's a victim of war. That's the swords. And then the batons, the 5 of batons is the internal wars that we have. And so you've been dealing with an energy of external wars and internal wars. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to read you the definitions of these 2 cards from Paul Huson's book, because he's reevaluated in his, I don't want to say dotage, but I'm going to, in his older age, he understands something more interesting about the numerology of a 5 and the transformation that it offers us. So in terms of the 5 of swords, there is this energy of reverses, a sort of setbacks. The swords create a frequency. I feel like I need to show you, and I wouldn't normally do this, but I feel like you need to see the 2 images that he has for the 5s that we're looking at here, because I think visually it might help to trigger some redefining in your own mind. They're a long way back. Not that one, the 5 of batons. 8. Oh, how have I missed it? Keep chatting among yourselves. So don't know the cards well enough to spot them quickly. That's so bizarre. Why am I missing it every time? This inner turmoil card, this energy, 7 of batons. Where's this one? So there's something about this energy that's golden. It's a golden opportunity for transformation. And it comes with the Five of Swords, which is that energy of the kind of depression, the grief, the decrepitude, the kind of hobbling through life. And these two cards are giving you two pathways. So there's this energy of being caught in the depression is actually an opportunity for a golden revival. So I'm getting that energy of the stars, these pinpricks of stars that are behind you, Natalie. They're really, they're like the fortune that you're not seeing. You're not seeing the shimmer in some kind of transformative energy that's coming to you. But it is really transformative. So I'm going to keep those out. And let's go into... Oh, I managed to put the deck down now, all upside down, around the other way and back to front. Let's go in and... sorry, I'm going... that's probably better. Thank you. It's got a caduceus. It could probably do that now like that. Yeah. So let's see the now energy for Susan. Susan, please. Some nice, helpful frequency for Susan. Ooh. This is coming out more frequently at the moment. Pouring out. And then we have another card. Nine of Swords. So I'm going to put them up the right way so you can see them. The Nine of Swords is the energy of celibacy, but it's really interesting. It's like a celibacy of life. I don't mean sexual. I know that's what the word means, but it's a withdrawn energy. It's a kind of, it's an energy of being, I want to say there's something so held and old that you have to transform that old thought that's hurting you into this golden thought. And these cards are coming as a kind of shaking you down. Empty this out. It's almost like in the empath readings, I've been talking a lot about how the Ace of Cups is you wake daily. We wake daily with an empathic frequency in our Ace of Cups. And all of our Aces of Cups are full of holes. They're bleeding and leaching out energy. Now, do you want to wake? And look, the fact that you've got three of these, I know I pulled one out, but these are really repetitive thought patterns that are creating a kind of blockage to this. So it feels like this is about refilling the cup, but you've got to empty your cup first, because it's almost like you need to wipe out inside. There's all kinds of, I mean, a little like when I said that I burnt that deck. I had to burn my tarot deck of 37 years. It was the oldest thing that I possessed, and I loved it and I hung on to it, but it had become heavy and dark, and then I lost the Hanged Man telling me it's time to move on, you can't remain stuck. There's something about that energy in this. You've got to clean out some really fixed thoughts that I'm not saying are easy to get past. I'm really not, but they really need to be moved on from now. You have the opportunity. So I'm going to ask you, what's coming in to assist you? What energy is coming in to assist you? What energy is coming in to assist you? I want to give the energy, they've gone in three different places. One on the floor. Hooray! It's Stephen Fry. I'm calling this card Stephen Fry. Actually, you've got Stephen Fry and Dusty Springfield. We'll come back to Dusty in a minute. This, for some reason, has become a prison of thoughts. And it's time for you to move past the prison of thoughts. And Spirit, Stephen Fry here, I say Stephen Fry because it looks a little bit like him somehow. Its Spirit is going to lead you from the darkness. You're going to be given the chance to move to brighter times. All of these framed energies of very complicated thoughts. Oh, Wassail, Penelope. So Stephen Fry is going to come in and take you on a journey. So Stephen Fry represents Spirit. He is this punctuation of starlight that's trying to get through to bring this golden energy of starlight. I mean, it looks like you're holding on, but you're holding on to Spirit who's going to lead you to a better place in your sacral. Free your sacral from its fears. The second card that's shot in a separate place, Lancelot. Knave of Coins. This is Lancelot du Lac. Again, this is like Avalon. He was brought up as an orphan in Avalon. And so he's imbued with magic. There is magic in the energy here. For all that there's this darkness, there's pinpoints of starlight trying to reach you. So Lancelot du Lac, what do I want to say to him? He's almost like the fool that knows where he's going. The dog's not biting the leg. The direction is pure. He understands. And then we have Dusty Springfield. So this is the Eight of Cups. And again, this is a new way of looking at the Eight of Cups. So while you're all enjoying Dusty with her blonde hair. Yeah, Stephen Fry the actor. It looks like Stephen Fry the actor. So I'll hold that there while I look for what it means. This is discretion. This is being apprehensive and being timid as you are brought forwards. It's waiting. It's almost feeling rudderless. And yet behind your frequency is a knowingness. You've got to accept your knowingness. You've got to accept the kind of esoteric magic that's hidden behind this. Because there's starlight waiting to come out. This is wonderful frequency, this Five of Batons. Let's give you gold, wealth, opulence, magnificence, luxury, fortune, enlightenment. You're moving into an energy where you're cleaning out the mud in your cup so that you can move to a much more opulent frequency. You know, there's so many more crowns of enlightenment that you can wear, Susan. Doesn't have to be this old one anymore. Take off the old crown, move on, sail on, move, continue a journey with Spirit. It's all coming in. It's a good energy for you. So that's Susan. I hope that's good, Susan. Who next? Bye, Penelope, Penelope. Cool, I'm glad, Susan. You got this. Just let Spirit bring it in, but you've got to choose to take off that crown. Change hats. Change your crown chakra consciousness. Allow a new frequency through your crown chakra. Nirvana, Nirvana, Nirvana. Nirvana, 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 Nirvana. So after that little song, do it together. It's always good to do things together. So, what message, Spirit and Paul, do you have for Nirvana? Don't forget to plus the video, friends, because it helps me to get my messages out there to more people. So we have Nirvana, the Three of Pentacles. Now, this one interests me because this is the only one of the ones with darkness in the background that has a very positive energy coming out of it. And then you're followed by the Eight of Batons in reverse. So let's go to Paul's book. I'll have a sip of water. Is Nirvana still here? My goodness, I've been on for 71 minutes. I've only done 3 readings. So, Three of Coins. 3 of Coins is about a celebrated, important, powerful frequency, Nirvana. Powerful, powerful energy. And then we have the Eight of Batons. If Nirvana's gone, do it and Nirvana can come back and find it. It can be time stamped at around 70 minutes. She might come back, she might not, or maybe it's a message to someone else that's here. So, Eight of Batons in reverse. That's interesting. A hugely powerful energy coming forwards. And then in reverse, this is about an interior dispute. So it's like having bravado, having an energy frequency of, don't blow your own trumpet. Blow your own trumpet, but blow it honestly. There's a warning within this card of don't big yourself up before you're ready for something. Take time. I'm going to put some of these Marseille on and we can all get confused about the swords and the batons again. I'm not taking those. Right, I've got 1. So, 7 of Swords. And in this energy here, this really is the notion of pierce through the distortions, because all of this is like a bending of the truth. This scimitar style of sword is a bending of the truth, and there's something about you needing to place some kind of clarity in order to not sell yourself. I want to say short, because while there's an energy of blowing a frequency that's huge, you're overblowing something before it's ready. Take the time to be cautious about the energy that is your truth. So, where's this going? In either direction. I think we're looking at the caution. So now we have the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords in this deck is about sorrow. This is like a time delay. If you over egg the souffle, it collapses, and that's this energy. There's something you're not demonstrating patience with, and you need more patience. So, what happens if patience is? What do we get if patience is observed? What do we get if patience is observed? 4 of Coins, that sense of the cornucopia, this energy of all of this wealth, like a waste of your own wealth, a waste of your own inner abundance. And this is the side that you want to be working with. This also has a different energy. Four of Pentacles can be quite a confusing card quite often, because it will talk about gripping and holding on to things too much. This is about a benefit, an acquisition, donation, being in an energy where generosity, cornucopia, is coming towards you. So if you take your time, if you don't over-egg the souffle and end in sorrow, the option becomes something more benevolent. Something more beneficial to you. And then we have two other cards that came out here, the Lovers and the Knave of Cups. I just want to look at the Knave of Cups. The Lovers is in reverse, which talks about a breakup, but the Knave of Cups is in the upright. And the Knave of Cups is Paris. I feel like this has got an energy of being caught in not so much a love triangle, but in a love fantasy. A frequency of wanting to break free from something, to take something on board that is actually a challenge. This is not a good energy to move to. This is this again. There's something about this frequency here. Let me just look at the moment at the colours in the healing of the body. There's something about this that's like someone's communicating the darker emotions. Someone's communicating falsehoods. Someone is trying to encourage you to move forwards when it's not you. I want to say that there's something about this where the option is to do this, to work out how to co-create and to ignore this blousy bastard. There's something of that energy here. It's got the possibility in either direction to mean something to you. I saw then the wind blowing away. I want to say Paris. Like Paris is the apple of discord. You know, he causes a war. This energy's coming in as someone that's creating a war of emotions within you, and it's not needed. You need to hold back and wait for this understanding of the good energy. It's like being whispered to, and it's not your truth, it's someone else's. There's a manipulation in this. Watch out that you're not being led to sorrow, but you're being led to joy. That's your message. Okay, who'll be next? I don't think there's any messages now. I'm not seeing any here. I'm on 4 of 20. Blimey. Yeah, I'm not sure we'll get to 20, but if we keep a list and you give me the list later. Okay, so rebel scum. Rebel scum. I'll find some sort of way of looking at starting again or doing it as a private reading later and putting them out for people. Wassail, beautiful Gustav. Wassail, Francesca. Or Francesca. So, rebel, rebel, rebel. Rebel, rebel, rebel. What are you bored with, rebel? Rebel, there's a boredom level. You got 2 of batons. Two of batons. I'm going to give you Paul's beautiful melancholy. Okay, so what I'm getting here, Rebel, when it's uncomfortable in my throat, to explain it, that you're allowing, I want to say some kind of distortions to come through you. So this energy, and they are really frank. I mean, I'm looking at his lines and I'm like, oh, I don't want to say that. There's a dark thoughts are pervading your mind at the moment. And it's making you listless. I want to say that something from the past, something very old, has got too much of a grip on you. There is a wistful melancholy here, Rebel. There's something... Your dissertation, is there something you're currently working on or something old though? This feels old, this doesn't feel current. This is something from the distant past that somehow has never left you. It's still got some kind of hold on you. So what do we have here? We have the 4 of batons, 6 of batons, sorry. And we have the 4 of coins. So give me a moment with this book and then with his book, because I'm trying to bring the new energies that come forward from these two books, and I'm still learning these new frequencies. So there's something you need to rest from. Oh no. Yeah, it's an obstacle. There is an obstacle. You see, this is ordinarily victory, but we're now looking at this as something that's at the root of this, that's never been resolved fully. And then the 4 of Pentacles, some kind of realization that you're lacking, something that you're not able to see. Why are you not able to see it? Let me check with Paul's version, because I really want this to be helpful. You're a slave to this energy. This energy, this old frequency that has blocked you, is holding you firm. It's making you not roll into your truth somehow. 4 of Pentacles. I know these have got quite strong energies. But this is what we're looking at. This is about an acquisition, a generosity. It's holding back your true generosity. I'm not saying you're not generous. I just mean your ability to flow. So what do we have here? Here we have the 8 of batons. And this is about moving into... I want to say about moving into a non-urban landscape. This is the energy of being in a kind of more rural frequency. Let's check Paul's energy. And let's check this energy. So there's something, I need to move my legs. Wee, 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 and bring them up. There's something here, Rebel, that's about... There's something here that's about expectation. And you can't quite seem to bring a closure because you have the Eight of Wands and you have the 2. They create the energy of 10, but there's something about you've done a lot of work, you've done a lot to resolve this. I want to say you've had the acorns, you've had the growth, you've had the new trees, the new branches, and you've had to cut them back because they're growing in the expectation of something that's not your truth. And you're now, it's like you're going from this, growing, removing, and then bringing that energy back round to the front for some kind of transformation. So I'm going to ask, what is the energy that's needed to complete this transformation? I'm also being told to ask before that, what is the energy that doesn't move, that shouldn't move? What's the consistent energy? What is the consistent energy? What is the energy that won't change? Oh, there it is. What is it that won't change? The fact that we have to go on this process, this bringing these two together creates that, but that doesn't change it. It's always a frequency that has to be made. We always have to create an ending. We always have to create a new beginning. So what's the 10 of batons in this? It says treachery, cheating, ruse, hypocrisy, falsity, conspiracy, and imposture. This is an energy that you will always run into until you can change it, Rebel. That's really interesting. You have all the tools to remove this, but you have to have some kind of epiphany to move past the treachery that you have witnessed. You've moved on from it in many ways, but you somehow haven't completely removed it. You're hanging on to an energy where the treachery is allowed to keep rolling forward. So what do you need to do to release? What do you need to do to release this? What's needed to get past it? What do you need to do? There's a lot of wand energy here. Now we're on the 9. So from here, you need to insert something of you. This is a struggle. 9 of batons. Let's see what it has to say. Okay, so you are slowing down the process because you're not seeing the fit. You're not seeing... There's a sense of... there's a sense of not reading the signposts. There's a sense of not seeing the relevance of the permanence of the lesson of this. And so you are inserting the pieces, you're getting there. 2, 8, 9, 10. But what's the missing element? That's what it feels like. It feels to me as though there's something you're missing. So what is Rebel missing? What's the thing that Rebel's not seeing that needs to be witnessed to end this? I've got to get that card, it's gone the wrong way. To the table. And it's interesting because this is the card, this is the missing piece. Love. but it's coming out with the Pope. Now, in this deck at the moment, this represents a kind of higher energy of a kind of spirit love that I want to say that is in that frequency of the non-judgmental love, but this isn't. This is an energy of a wrong-un. This is an energy of structure. This is an energy that applies rules to love. And I feel like that's part of this. It's almost like behind this energy is this. And when you can accept that it is just another of the energies in life that we are confronted with and release it, this then gets its last piece and fades away. That waiting moment, that struggle feels internal. This energy doesn't give a toss about what you're going through. It's you that has to create the missing pieces. So, understanding that love with sort of restrictions or conflicts, what will move Rebel past it? What is the solution, please? Hector, it's all batons. Now we've got the 3 and we got Hector. I feel Hector loses a battle for all the determination. I think this is something, I don't want to say you lost a battle. That's not what I mean. What I mean is let go of the battle. Let go of the conflict. The holding any of this energy up, because there's so much of this wand frequency here. You have to see this as a journey that you have to witness, but you also have to let go of it. You have to get the female Pope energy in, which is less structured. This is moving into the world with new vision, everything growing and rotating again, the world being in your hands, but Hector ain't letting go of this last baton, and that's the one that needs to be put into this to create the final moment so that this can fade away. So there's some kind of internal, mental and fiery energy within you that's not letting you release, and you can release it. I put them in the wrong deck. So there we go, Rebel. It's like they're saying to me, there's a wound and you keep picking it. You got to let it heal, and you're not letting it heal so that the scab can fall off naturally. You got to let go of the fact that there is a wound. Okay? Who next? Karen. Karen 65. Karen. I've just written Racken. That's really interesting. I've been getting a lot of anagram energy. So Karen. I want to say, Rebel, that there's something about yours that feels like something that you, how do I want to say this? like a really uncomfortable frequency that you've had to witness, but the point is you had to witness it to have the growth. So it is uncomfortable, but it is time for the growth now. So Karen, what do we have for Karen? Are you here, Karen, as well? What do we have for Karen? Is Karen here? Is Karen here? Is Karen here? Is Karen here? I ought to check before I do things. Because there's so many other people waiting. Right, I don't think Karen is here, so who's next? It's interesting that poem and poetess. Okay, it's just I wrote Karen as Rackham, and I said it was an anagram, and the juggler came out. Poet and poetess, are you here? We're going to play that game all the way down the list. Are you here, poet and poetess? Are you here, poet and poetess? Or who's after poet and poetess and we're just the first one to admit that they are still here gets their reading? Because I've been a bit slow. So, Wassail, Tracy. Okay, Cheney, are you still here? Alright, we're doing Cheney then. Cheney, Cheney, Cheney. Right, Cheney, you got 2 cards straight away. You have the Empress. This is external energy. This is guide. I really feel that about these cards at the moment. Whereas the female popess and the... Oh, you've got another card underneath. You've got Dusty Springfield as well. This is guides working with you. This is a team of guides bringing energy towards you. There's something... There's something incredibly knowing about a frequency, and there's something a little bit stern, because the next one you've got is this 3 of Swords. I feel like, I want to say, Cheney, you're being given a kick up the arse, but you know that. That's the interesting thing about it. It's like, yeah, I needed a kick up the arse because I needed to chain things. Yeah, Cheney's here. It's a chorister. So you've been given a kick up the bum to get you moving. And you got the 8 of Cups, Dusty Springfield, in reverse. I don't know what she means in reverse. Let's go look. Change of direction, satisfaction, and joy. Right, so what am I getting from this? I feel like there's an energy here of air coming up through the earth. Why is it air coming up through the earth? It's like a dark story, a dark ancestral story. This spirit is a relative. This spirit some kind of connection to water, but not positively. I feel like this is an energy of someone who lost a loved one through drowning. And there was huge melancholy that was created, Cheney. And I don't know whether you'll know who that is, or whether it's just an energy in a bloodline that's to do with like a discontent around the sea or the oceans or a river, because there's something, I'm seeing the energy of a very dark river, like the river carried someone away. I feel like it could have even carried away a child playing in the water, but it turned this relative's life upside down. So I'm just going to keep with the pool. I'm not going in this at the moment with the Tarot Marseille. I'm being told to push it right away because it's not what you need to have. So, right, we have this story. We have this echo chaining. Let's find out why we're being told about a lost child, a drowned child. Why is this helpful to Cheney? What is the purpose of this story being told to Cheney? Right, so I'm getting the sense of twins. It came out upside down. This is a card of friendship. But again, this is an energy of some kind of emotional upheaval. So there's some kind of energy of this upheaval that's present for you somehow. Yeah, I did see it as a German eagle at first, but it's also Rome, Cindy. It's I think the German eagle has two heads, or maybe it's the Russian. And that is very much in German colours. So there's Two of Swords. There's something again in this energy of something on the surface, just below the surface. Something below the surface, some energy, it's playing out for you, Cheney, this old story, as something that comes across as an energy of some kind of skin deep, like there's an energy of falsity, something that's not real, that's withheld a friendship. So this energy of a twin, losing a twin, has got some kind of energy in you of losing what you considered would have been a beautiful friendship, but that wasn't the truth of it. There's something about the energy of these twins where they didn't... You would think that anyone born as a twin would come into the world with someone who was genuinely part of a soul tribe to them. And that's not this energy. There's something strange. And I think there's something in your past that's about the loss of someone who you thought would be a lifetime's friend, and they weren't. And that somehow it's a very gentle, just below the surface energy, but actually it runs deeper within you. It's almost like meeting someone and imagining that even though you want a great friendship or something beautiful to come forward, that somehow it will be taken from you. And I think that's the message that you need to transform. Everything can be a lifetime if you let it be a lifetime. So let's see where it goes. So we've got one in the deck, which is Charlemagne. We have, I'm putting them out in the order that they came into the reading. So, Knight of Coins, Two of Coins. This card here, this Two of Coins, is not the same thing. This is about something that was taking shape and place in the wrong form. Something amorous, something friendship-wise, that almost a blind eye was being turned to it. And this energy here is trying to bring a stop to it because it's not. This was never contracted. This was never contracted. That's very complex, Cheney. This was never contracted. This was never meant to be. Something that you grieve over was never meant to be. And it slowed you down in like knees and legs. It slowed your progress through life, but I want to say in a physical way. We have Charlemagne, the King of Cups. Are you saying things that I'm missing? There's something about this energy. This was being slowed down, and this is being stopped. And that isn't Paul's frequency, I don't think. It's the cards are beginning to sing, and that's a good thing. So that he has the energy of sincerity and friendship, and that's where you're meant to be. There's something about your creation of friendship hasn't been energized in the right frequency, and that's what's transforming. So this is almost like being in young love and having some parental figure come in and go, no, you can't do that, Cheney. And then this here is the energy of it transforming, of it being an honest relationship. And I think that there was something about this that would never have been. Yeah, and I think it's been blocking you. I actually mean blocking you from physically moving about, Cheney. You know, getting up on a bicycle and going for a ride or that kind of thing. There's something about this horse riding. So what's the one here? Yeah, look, it's been a tower. This is a bigger moment than you realise. So this energy of it being on the surface, that I said, it runs so much deeper. It's been an energy that's really almost like you can't see it in the back of your mind. It's there and it's not transforming and you're not able to move it on because you've never had it explained as something that was not contracted but was your decision, and someone else came in and it's been... So, what's the solution here? Where's it going? What's the solution here for Cheney? What's the solution here for Cheney? Queen of Coins. This is our game. Oh, this is an anagram of Regina. This is often called the Queen of Avalon. I feel again that this is about getting up, being unstuck, making new commitments, new frequencies. We have the Knight of Batons with it. I want to say moving away from an energy of despondency is what I'm getting here. Sitting in your own truth and allowing all of this very physical, I want to say this is an energy of other people making judgment on your love. And it's time to let that be severed. You need to move on from that. There's this Five of Cups, and this is about an inheritance. But it feels like somehow you're opening this box, and this is a really positive card, but it's still got an energy of grief. I think this is an older energy that needs releasing. So I'm going to just ask, how do you release it? How do you release it? How does Cheney release this? How does Cheney release this? You have to flood yourself. You have to bring the energy of this up from the past. You have to think about it, and you have to consider all that it could have been before it became a tower. It was always meant to be a tower. But you need to bring it into your present as something that could have been something wonderful, and then let go of it. Because it was never meant to be. You need to come to this. You need to come to your understanding of your place in the world was always inevitable, regardless of this energy. This energy brought you to this energy, and that's a good place to be. But you can't mourn. You can't mourn for an empty possibility that came from an ancestor. This ancestral energy came in and you transformed it. You need to allow it to be a flood. You almost need to grieve the energy and then understand that it was never meant to be, but grieve it first and then realize that it was never meant to be, because that's what will shift you into the better frequency. And the bottom of the deck has got this Three of Cups. This is that unveiling of your truth. And it's a really powerful, strong energy. Okay, so that's you, Cheney. Next is Dayna. Dayna, 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 Dayna. Oh, Dayna. What we got for you, Dayna, here? Oh, we're beginning with the spirit again. You can look at this as an energy as people would traditionally. I don't think he even says that. I can't remember what he says. Let's have a look. But it's, to me, matriarchy, beneficence. It's a spirit. It's an ancestral spirit. Or it's a guide. So you've got a guide here. Oh, Dayna. On my knee. Right, tell me about this guide. Tell me about this guide. Tell me about it. Right, you've got the Two of Swords, but yours is this way up. And the energy I'm getting from this guide is someone you've known in life. This is someone who's passed. Someone who was a great friend. And we got the Chariot in reverse. What do I want to say about that? I want to say about this is like, I'm seeing this as two hearts. Oh, it's really weird. Let me, if I can get there. Hang on. Table's a bit long and in the way, and I pushed it really close. I'm going to push you back that way. So, I wanted to get this and show you it because that's what this is reminding me of. There's this ceramic heart here, and this is reminding me. There's something about moving on from a sad heart to a flowing heart. Did this person die of a heart attack? That's like it stopped. Let's see what, sorry, I'm not paying any attention up the side. So the Chariot in reverse. Yeah, this was how they met their death. Their heart gave in. They were a defeated frequency at that point. But they're here for you. I did read there that you said you don't know who that is. It could be an ancestor then, not a friend, but it's someone who's part of a tribe that you're in. Like a soul tribe. Palace is coming out here. The energy here is about looking backwards. We're looking backwards and she's looking forwards. So, let's see what we've got for Palace. She's Queen of Swords. Sorry, I'm misting out of the shot here for a minute. Okay, so this is a card that comes across as having a sort of sense of widowhood. So maybe this person that died was the husband and it left someone in a sense of widowhood, and they're looking at you as if you're somehow, I don't mean alone, but sort of like disconnected from things. And it's weird that these are now beginning to pulse. Boom, 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 boom. I'm seeing this energy of a burgeoning frequency of like, it's almost like you've had to take the sword, the Queen of Swords frequency, and kind of the spirit's digging a new space for new energy to come towards you. It's so powerful, this. The horse's legs, like the Chariot's getting back up again. What does that mean? What are you telling here? What are we saying here? What are we saying here? begins with Alexander, but if you look at Palace and Alexander, it's like you need to move. Oh, look, it's like this is the pieces of the chariot that need to be reformed. You need to rebuild movement. And it's something from the past. This energy is really strong. There's a real sense, when I said about the sword cutting into the ground, of a new life force energy. And it's not even cutting into the ground, it's like cutting through the space around you, like you've been caught in some kind of... There is a sense of a crash that's coming through, like the wheels fell off the world, and it's time to re-find all the pieces to create some kind of new energy. You see, now that's really interesting. This here, when it's this way up, it begins to be the energy of a heart. It's got that frequency of rebuilding something through love. Finding old fragments of stories, of beings, of faces, of frequencies. There's all like uncovering, like having a treasure trove and opening it and there being lots of different pieces of something that need fitting together, but these feel like they're more to do with emotions and passions that need to be brought back together to be created into something, because we've actually got the Three of Cups and the Sun. And these are really strong. Both of these cards are very strong energies. Why is the Three so important? So I'm seeing 3 in the Empress, obviously, but the Chariot, and then I'm seeing this energy of 2 and 2. There's a part missing to the heart. There's a fragment of the soul that's been, that's just kind of, again going back to that thing of the wheel falling off. The wheel, Fortune's wheel, has somehow been, like there's been a crash around it. Something that's happened in your life that's meant you've never quite put all the cogs back together to bring out your true power and to move your wheel into this energy. So I'm going to ask, what is it? We need help on that. So what is the blockage? What is the missing part? What is the thing that will move the wheel? This is a really current energy. It's so weird because we always want to see this, but this is somehow more profound in this deck. Empty your cup. They're saying you've got a cup too many. That's what this 3 to 2 is, because look, we've got 3, the Empress. There's 3 here in terms of the figure, and the blue and the red horse, which are like hearts, the past and the future. And in between that is 2. It needs to come back to 2. There's something obstructive in having something additional. Here, we're with 2 again. The pieces that need to come back together. So do you have too many pieces? Do you not know which cog fits which? That's an interesting energy. So here, the 3 of Cups, empty one of them. It's like having a piece that you shouldn't have that somehow feels like it belongs to the widow. And again, bringing it back to 2, bringing it back to this. The sun coming in, the sun being fully on view, but it can't come in while there's some kind of third frequency that doesn't belong. And here in this 8 of coins, he's rebuilding, he's refashioning the pieces so that they fit. But again, I get that sense of too many pieces. How do you choose which are the right pieces? What's this? What's the third energy? It's an energy that's causing, not destruction, but causing like a lightning strike, causing like a fire, causing like a discomfort here, like a peptic ulcer type thing. It's just, it doesn't belong. The third cup doesn't belong. Why do you have 3 cups though? Why is there 3 cups? Right, this is the Ace of Batons, and this is about a birth. This is about something that snuck up on you that you didn't even know was coming from this ancestor, from this widow, like an energy. There's something, I want to say this, I said it was spirit at first, but it really is ancestor echo. It's not spirit, because there's a piety, there's a kind of terse frequency in this. And it's brought in something that doesn't belong to you and needs to go back. How? What advice do you have for how to deal with that? It's a 2 of cups. 2, again, this energy of 2. You have to identify what the part is emotionally. I want to say it gives you a judgment that you're not comfortable with. It gives you a rigidity that is this energy of the widow whose husband died of heart attack. But she had some very fixed views, and you need to call a stop on that. It's something that comes across in you as a sort of judgment. It could be that there's too many people involved, because weirdly the solution is the 10 of Cups. This is emotional fulfillment, but look, it's no longer about the people. It's about the space and the environment around you and being at one in your environment. That's where it's heading. But you need to call time on... Do you know that thing, Dayna, where people say, oh, you know, like you're like your mum's side of the family, or you're like the dad's side of the family, where there's certain frequencies that we are told we have, or behaviors. That's what this is. There's a kind of... The widow card is bringing a kind of judgment in that just needs to be dropped. And it's something I'm not sure ordinarily, without us doing this reading, that you would consider, that you would notice and that you would deal with. It's uncomfortable, because it's created an additional cog that's not yours, but more forced upon you, and that's causing you to not flow into that wonderful energy of the 10 of Cups without all that confusion of ancestor. There's something about that 10 of Cups that was also ancestral, astral, portal, that just needs clearing of her. Maybe it's time to tell the widow that she needs to go. Say, thanks very much, I've dealt with it. Yeah, there is a rigidity. And that's what needs breaking. She could be a maiden, you know. She is a widow. I was going to say stupidly, she could be a maiden aunt of a, but it isn't. She is someone that had children. It is someone who's a widow. And there was a kind of pious authority, a criticism of her own children in places maybe. And it's that that rigidity is not allowing the flow of the Ace of Cups. And you need to empty her energy out of your cup. Because it's like a third cup that you don't need. It's not part of it. Okay, who's next? Who's next? Who's next? Who's next? Who's next? King David. Petra, are you here, Petra? Are you here, Petra? Petra? Are you here? Yes, good, lovely Petra, lovely, lovely. I had a marionette, my first marionette, and it was a little, I think it was meant to be a little boy, but I called it Petra. When I was very young. So, let's see what we have as a story for Petra, story for Petra. See, I've got this habit of turning them up the right way, and I have to stop doing that. So, 8 of batons and 9 of pentacles. I love this 9 of coins, because 9 of coins is a female in sovereignty, but here she's also the architect of her own world. She's got people working for her. She's building new things. What's the 8 of pentacles is about country life, but in reverse. I cannot remember what he put for it yet. So let's have a little look. So Petra, I feel like it's got embezzlement. There's something about having been cheated of money, and yet somehow you've not let that block you. You've built up a new frequency. You've worked to recreate, refill your, I want to say pot, but it's more than just pot. It is that kind of like the Ace of Cups. Okay, that's interesting, Petra. That's what it's got. That is the energy of the now. So I lost everything and I've been rebuilding. It's a long journey, but it's very deeply satisfying. So we have the background. Let's have the now. Let's have the now for Petra. Let's have the now. Let's have the now for Petra. Let's have the now. Ooh, that Ogier just landed on the deck. And I've got the King of Swords, King David, as like an energy caught in the deck that you haven't fully seen yet. But the Ogier one really wanted to present itself. So, Ogier, Knave of Swords. Ogier is a Danish mythological sleeping king with a beard that touches the ground, who will awaken at some point to rescue Denmark if it's ever threatened. So this is an energy of being witnessed. It's like there's a frequency behind you that's keeping an eye on you. And I was going to say that that's also this. It's like these are two spirits. King David with his harp and his sword. Let's see what the wonderful Paul Huson has to say about the two. So, okay. Yeah, this is an examiner. Someone's watching. I wasn't going to say spying because that's the word, but it is witnessing. And King David, this is someone who, I mean, and it could be your brother David, but there's a sense of being watched over, and this energy being, what do I want to say? Notated, like there's some kind of divine law. I feel like there's this spirit is wanting authority from this spirit to move in and to assist you in this. But David's got a greater sense of trust in you, almost. I don't know who this one is. But this one's an actioner. Although it's a witnesser, it wants results. Okay, so let's find out what they're doing for you then. What are the spirits offering to Petra behind the scenes? What are the spirits offering to Petra behind the scenes? So you got another spirit. These feel because they're all of the same suit. So we got all this sword energy. They're working on your soul, deep down sacral energy. Let's see what we got at the Knight of Swords. So yeah, we have, how do we do this? This is an energy, it's coming across now with more understanding. This one wants to action things, this one wants to slow things down, and this one is like this together. It's ready to action something. It's ready to do, but it's also still gathering, witnessing information. And for you, in your body, what does their energy mean? It means fortitude in healing. It's enormous strength. It's like building up the power in you to break the column with a quick kind of lashing. And there's something about, they're there at the moment, rain or shine is what's coming across. They're really there with you. There's something where they reveal themselves occasionally in little tiny corner of the eye happenings or moments that come through. But you get a great sense of like giggling from them. You're very aware of when it's their moments. So where's this heading? This I mean, ultimately, I still think it's heading towards 9 of coins right at the beginning. It was like a short message of rebuilding a life. And the spirits here are they just male? Are all these spirits around here just male? I'm just curious about that. So this is what you're walking away from. This is what you've been leaving. This energy that held you back, this losing of everything. It's interesting that upside down, that's giving me the sense of this, an echo here within the moon. Moving away from this and then moving towards love. There is this real energy of a very, this is Caesar. This is the king of batons. This is, he's always the energy. I know people would think of the king of cups as being more emotional, but this is passion. They're trying to guide you towards some kind of new, loving, I want to say family, because I think that's what this energy will eventually become. But there's something incredibly strong. It's like a spiritual love as well as a passion. I get this sense of glimpsing in the third eye, having had flashes of understanding, but that hasn't been grounded down yet. I mean, grounded as in brought into being rooted into your life. It's an inevitability. It's a very victorious, growing energy. I mean, they're very beautiful. I need a sip of water. So I'm just going to ask if there's advice that you need to know. Is there advice that Petra needs to know? Is there advice that Petra needs to know? Is there advice that Petra needs to know? This is interesting. 6 of Cups is the past. But in reverse, it's something, the future. Regeneration, renewal. Know that you are on the right track. Nostalgia doesn't bring in love. You have to use the now, the journey forwards. Towards this, you embodied in your own sovereignty, healed and with strength that allows the energy of love to come. Okay, so that's yours, Petra. There's a button here and I just want to press it. I'm sorry if everything goes wrong, but I can't resist it. Next, Cindy, okay. Ooh, 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 look, this is fun. So unnecessary. Pop. Back to normal. I can get rid of that now. I just needed to know what that was. It had a magic wand. And I was like, that looks fun. There's some really good ones, actually. I'm just going to show you another one, which I have seen before. Which, oh, maybe it's not on here. Oh, here. Look, they look great. So that's it's all got a bit old and sepia. Dreamy, dreamy. Let's go back to normal. Right, so Cindy. Let's have a message for Cindy. I need to get rid of all the filters. So, we need a message, please, to Cindy. Nice split, Cindy. The Sun and the Ten of Cups. The sun is shining on your environment. So we just have another mention for Paul Huson, who created this deck, and his energy is very much in the deck, and he's transformed what the tarot means, and it means I have to keep looking in a book to check on his meanings. So it's called Dame Fortune's Wheel Tarot, or Tarot de la Rueda de la Signora Fortuna. So, got Ten of Pentacles, Cindy. There's something hidden underneath it. I've got 4. Right, so. What have we got? It has to be held that way. So 2 in reverse. I have to keep reminding myself that his reversals can be so much more interesting than our normal way of seeing things. So it begins with the Ten of Pentacles. I'm going to hold them up the right way so you can see them. Okay, so this has been like, you feel like you've been in a kind of game. You feel like your life has been a bit like a lottery. It feels like you've had to take a lot of gambles in order to move past this. You've had to take risks to get past this 5 of Swords energy, which is grief. You've taken risks to move past grief, Cindy. It's been a real gamble, a real energy of struggle, but it feels like you've succeeded. You see, interestingly, these cards have fallen like this, and I don't know what that means, but they told me to look at them first of all in this way. There's something about, this is the 9 of Swords. This is that energy of being outside of everything, being celibate, being almost being, I feel like there's an energy around you in your society at the time that this grief was experienced. Whoever it was, it could be a parent of some kind, but I'm not sure. Sorry, I'm not. Okay. And then inserting a new birth. I feel like there's something about this energy where... do you have children, Cindy? Because that's what I'm getting. I'm getting the idea of a birth. something was something, because this is an energy of birthing, and they're showing me this being inserted, almost smashing through the frequencies, but that could just be an idea breaking through this piety, but it is a birthing energy. And there was a clearance. Oops, sorry. God, you can't see. The death card is coming along as kind of severing certain religious restrictions that existed around you, surrounding you. This is really the power energy, this pushing through. Yeah, so it's about birthing you then. It's about taking you out of this energy. And it is, I mean, I know James is saying that, but it feels like it was in a different direction. It feels like the energy of the religion around Cindy was making it difficult. And then this need to sever from this. There's a judgment in this. Like, James, you need to understand that no one answer is anybody's answer. And I'm giving a reading here to somebody who's asked for something, and you're just interfering with it. So it would be easier if you began to understand what is the question, that your desire to follow only Christ is not the answer for everybody. It's really, you need a reading, James, and I normally do stop, but you know, there's people here that are just going to remove that. Christ is not everybody's answer, James. You need to understand that. You need to open your mind and realize that your fixed attitude is exactly this energy that somehow has been so difficult in other people's lives. You know, there's many paths to understanding life, James. Seriously. Jesus is not coming back to judge people. That's your version of life, James. Look, let's just remove him. Just don't let him in here. Remove. Because the thing is, James, everybody has their own journeys. And your journey of Jesus coming back to judge people is in your mind, you feel a need that everybody should be judged as wrong and you as right. That's not Christian. That was never Jesus's message, James. I think you need to go and reread the Bible and actually understand the truth of the message behind Jesus, because you're not understanding it. And that's really sad, because you're using it as a weapon against others. So go away, James, and learn something grown up before you throw little Christ bombs at people. So, I'm sorry about that, Cindy. Yeah, he did, but I think that it's part of the energy. I think religious notions within Cindy have hijacked her own existence in her own way. Yeah, exactly, with much less judgmental concepts. I'm not going to let another overshadow you. Cindy, I'm going to start your reading again. I think that those cards came out to perfectly express what he was bringing in. I'm going to start you again. Not hope, trust. Right, Cindy. It's weird because when I go into the YouTube studio to do a live, I'm allowed to set that these people can't talk in a meeting for 20 minutes. They have to subscribe, and you can't do that when you do it in the app. The app's not got so many details, and I don't understand why YouTube can't just allow us to have all the same information available to us throughout. I'm gonna light a little bit of Palo Santo. Yeah, hoping has no goal. Trusting has a goal. Hope is a bit of an open-ended journey. Ooh, a lot of bash. Let's give the cards their first little smoking too. Oh my goodness, I think I've been doing this for 3 hours. So, Cindy. I've no idea what the time is, but let me just have a quick look. 3:17. I need to remember that I go to the shops to get some food. So, Cindy. Ooh, Cindy, they were determined. Judgment. And the Four of Batons, socializing. There's something very collective about this energy, Cindy. It's like there's a trumpet being blown to awaken society, but it's something about you coming back to society, you coming back to this energy of socializing. And having kind of like gatherings. So, you have the Star in reverse and you have Dusty Springfield, the Eight of Cups. So, I'm going to look at what the Star in reverse is, because I don't know what his meaning on that is. This is, it's got all the energy of healing and rebirth, but it's like, it's not aggressive in any way. It's a very gentle, it's a very calming energy that's pouring down to you, but it's not like a tower moment of healing. It's not something so strong. It's after a moment that's been a long tower. That's this energy. You know, we've almost all been statues turned into kind of like alabaster figures, but there's something about this that's, I'm seeing this gentle flow that comes down to you. There's something very soft about this. Yeah, I can understand that. It's difficult to get back out there at the moment, Cindy, but it is what's coming to you. Let's just check Dusty Springfield with her big do. Yeah, apprehension, timidity. You've got a fear of going back into the ocean of life somehow. So let's go into that. What's this? How should Cindy be thinking? There's an energy, Cindy, where I feel like part of the timidity is almost that you fear that you might say the wrong thing. Like you feel like you've forgotten how to socialize, because it feels like there's a whole new series of etiquette and things around it. So what would help Cindy right now? I'm not going to take those because they jumped over and didn't fall. I like fallers most of the time. So the first card out, ooh, this was in this position, but facing that way. This is opportunity, this is success, this is gold, this is that energy. You see, now I'm getting this energy, Cindy, that you don't want to let this star in massively. You're apprehensive even about the kind of about the healing. You want time, you want to be able to go more slowly through this frequency, and this is golden, this is transformative energy, but you're holding it. I feel like you know this is inevitable. You know that this movement towards this back in society is inevitable. You can even hear the trumpet blowing, but that doesn't mean you're yet ready. And yet, you are bored with where you are. You want this, but there's apprehension because you've lost the sense of what it means to do that. This is about ruralness. This is about being out in the countryside. There's a sort of a hunting for life frequency in this. I feel like you've got this juggler in reverse. I feel like it's like all of the things when we had this kind of energy where we're not out in the rural, wide, open spaces. You've managed to get everything into a sense of order, and there's an energy where you just feel like if you add everything else, how are you going to juggle everything together without somehow tripping over the frequencies? I almost feel like there's an energy where you're concerned about how you're perceived when you go back out. I feel like there's just a loss of confidence somehow through the stillness. So what can Cindy do? What can Cindy do? What can Cindy do? Ooh, you could get yourself a lover. It is a rebirth of your hunting of your heart. This is a really interesting card, Cindy. This Five of Pentacles, Five of Coins, is about a lover. It's about a new energy coming in. And there's something about, there's a kind of raggediness about them in this card, but that doesn't matter. They're both not tuned to be this, to be the couple in the center of this card, socializing and being out in the world. And yet, this is about finding a lover. This is about, but being a little bit kind of, you know, haven't been out there for a while. I feel a little bit of a mess. And yet, that's the beauty of what comes. This is interesting, Cindy. Talk to us about Cindy's lover. They're very spiritual. You've got two cards of spirit, Emperor and the Pope. This is a deeply spiritual partner. It doesn't have to be a man, but the cards are coming over as somebody deeply spiritual, but also I want to say someone that can absorb pains that you feel. You know, you could go out in a black bin bag and they're not going to notice what you're wearing, but who you are. This is about someone seeing you for who you are. This is a very spiritual, non-judgmental love frequency. This is a very powerful energy. I know that this is called the Pope and this is the Emperor, but this represents spirit bringing things and the energy of spirit to another. And this represents a kind of divine energy that's even higher. So this is a really divinely, spiritually connected, non-judgmental, pain-absorbing lover. And that's the kind you want, the ones that see you. What else for Cindy? What else for Cindy? There's real love. So, temperance. This is emotions changing. This is this. At the moment, it's not flowing because you're not allowing it to flow because you have apprehensions. This energy coming in is allowing this to become a stronger, cleaner purifier. And then you have the Two of Cups. You've got love again. You've got this twice. Somebody coming in to bring you love and to bring you balance and to bring you some kind of understanding. Yeah, it's not just for Cindy, but Cindy's the one that inspires that energy today. So, there's you, Cindy, someone coming in, but you're not going to notice them if you don't go out into the world and find them. I guess that's what they're saying. There's a perfect, lovely person out there for you, but you've got to be out there to run into them. They're not going to knock on the door to read your meter, or are they? So, who's next? I need a bit more water. Follow excitement. Well, I do like to follow excitement. Follow excitement. Look, I'm nearly on 100 likes. That's following excitement. Can we get to 100? If you've not tick like now and push me past 100. Oh, there's an orb. There's a spirit here, and I don't know who it, what it. Hey, 100. So, follow excitement. Oh, I keep knocking the table. So, They're always there, the orbs, just by the door. I always get the feeling, because there's a little fireplace here that's, I don't think you can see it, no. It's a little stove that you would heat the house with and cook on. I always get the feeling it's someone who spent a long time hanging over there. No, I'm not looking at them. I always, when spirits appear, I don't look to see who they are to begin with, because I just kind of always want to say, in my time, not yours, because I'm the living and they're the dead, and it's the living's world. And usually there's a reason they're there, and they have to make that known later, and then we'll talk about it. But I do get the sense that it's a female spirit, but it might not be. It's pleasure, Cindy. So, following the excitement of Cindy's love affair, we have follow excitement, and we're going to do a message for follow excitement. What's the opening frequency, please, for follow excitement? What's the opening frequency, please? Yeah, it's over there. Follow excitement. Oh, look, you've got the Empress as an opener as well. I think that's that. Don't think this is your message. I'm going back into that. It's that spirit wants attention. Later. Follow excitement. Opening cards. 7 of coins. And Knight of coins. There's something about this card that's like a secret benefactor. Because this is a card about coming into money somehow, or riches. But there's something behind the scenes that you're not aware of in this energy. So let's see. The 7 of coins, which is usually the card of the harvest that you're waiting to happen. This is about money, riches, coinage. There's a kind of candor and there's an innocence to this energy. So it's almost like sensing money that you didn't know was there. Like a surprise or a rebate or something, or it's not really an inheritance. It's coming from somewhere that you don't understand. Bye, Cindy. There's an energy of benevolence and it's been slow. So let's go a little bit more follow excitement. So there's some kind of coinage, there's some kind of candor, honesty. Can we have a bit more information, please? This is an energy of being in the real world. We've got the energy we just had, this lover energy. This is like having someone who's wanting to help you and is going to help you, and they have great love for you, but I'm not sure you're aware of it yet. So you have the female Pope. This is an energy of you being connected to this energy of purity, this innocence, this candor. I almost want to say that there's someone trying to pull the wool over your eyes slightly. This doesn't feel honest in the first. Like there's a doubt in you. I don't know whether it is or isn't honest in its end truth, but there's something about it that's hollow to you when it first arrives. And I think that there is honesty. That's the interesting thing. I think this is honest, but you can't see it that way. It's interesting that they're moving the cards around with me here. You've got this energy of trying to call a stop to this, like you're not in the right space to be a Six of Pentacles in the now. You haven't fitted all the pieces together. You haven't... I almost want to say that there's an energy here of seeing something that isn't true, that's stopping it coming towards you. So, why would that be the case? Why would you think... Why are you not seeing what it is for what it is, or are you, and we're missing it? There's just an energy of you wanting to call a stop to some kind of love that someone's bringing to you. Another pentacle, Six of Coins. Look, I just said you can't seem to bring this energy together to create the moment of living in the now, to be in that truth. There's a kind of this moon. There's something you're waiting to witness. And I'm hearing that thing, which is show me the money. But what I mean by that is show me your, like, as if the money is really love. Show me the truth of your heart is the energy. It's just being represented, because look, we've got 7, Knight, 5, 2, 6. This is a lot of real world experiences being piled on him. But there's a doubting Thomas energy. There's an energy where you can't see this for what it really is. So, can we please understand that? So, we have Dayna's Fortune's Wheel. This is the energy of I reign, I did reign, I reigned a long time ago, and I will reign. So, listen, you can own this reading. You can own any reading, Wild Wolf Woman. They come and you, Sadir Magic is to see a prophecy and to own it. This one's just coming to us, being translated through someone else, but it can be your energy as well. What do I feel? I'm getting an energy from this of the fragility with which the Wheel of Fortune turns, and it's not luck. Seeing this wheel here, the wheel turns, but again there is this energy where you're not putting together the pieces. in the right order. There's still something where you want to seek out putting a stop to something that's, I feel, actually beneficial to you, because the wheel's bringing in this energy of exchange and friendship, and this is exchange of love. So what's the advice then? What needs to happen to follow excitement? What's the advice? So we've got a hidden energy, 9 of Swords. And then we have the Hermit. The Hermit represents time. So time is the healer of this situation. I need to just look up the 9 of Swords in reverse, because I think it's something about sadness in reverse. Okay, so mistrust. So you have the 9 of Swords. You've got to stop mistrusting the gifts that the universe wants to bring you. Fortune's trying to bring you a beautiful friendship and possibly a lover. But you're not willing to put the pieces together. And it's time to do that now. It's time to step out of this energy of not trusting. Because this is about benevolence. This is about good, beautiful frequencies coming to you in the now, in the physical world. But that's what I keep seeing, is you wanting to stop it, and you don't need to. You need to let the beauty flow towards you. So I'm going to just ask, what's it bringing? I'm sorry that I might not have been seeing anything you've written, but what is the result of time to trust, to follow excitement, time to trust? It's the sunshine. It's the beauty of the sunshine. It's being in the most splendid, beautiful energy. So that's a wonderful ending. Follow excitement. But you've got to learn to trust. It's almost like, it's like saying, you're wandering along the road and you're struggling with loads of shopping, and I say to you, would you like a hand with that bag? And you'd say no, because you wouldn't want to trust me not to run off with your shopping. And I think you are just being asked to just trust the world around you a little more. Which are kind of, in a weird way, your name doesn't suggest that, but that's the energy that came through. So, I need to think about stopping, and I can pick up on these. Kathy can give me a list, and then maybe later tonight I can do some more of them and post them, and you can look up your readings if I haven't done them. So I hate to be mean, but I need to get out to the shops or I can't eat. Okay, you've been in full hermit mode. Yeah, I think that it's time to come out of that. Thank you, Kathy. I can't read the comments. Can't read them that well. I think I might need new glasses. Okay, so Kathy will give me the list, and I'll sit later and do a series of readings, or I'll come on later live. Oh, there was an orb again. Did you see it? It just went out through the window. Okay, so yeah, Kathy give me the list and I'll work out whether I just do it live. But if I do it live, no one else can add their name to the list, We just need to get through all the people, because I've only done about 8 and I think there were 20. So there's still a lot of people to get through, but I'll do that, I promise. So I'm going to go and have a wee. I'm going to go and get some food. I'm hungry. Did you see it then, Kathy? Did you see it when it went out through the window, Kathy? Yes, good. I'm glad. So, beautiful people, thanks for tuning in. Also, everybody go and have a look at this Paul Huson deck and fall in love with a very beautiful man who's created a really beautiful and interesting deck with new messages, new thoughts, new numerology. It's a wonderful thing, and I want to find him and I want to have tea with him and I want to pick his brain because I think he's interesting. So, everybody, what is it called? It's called Dame Fortune's Wheel, or Tarot de la Rueda de la Senora. It's in the name of the title on the book, on the reading. So, beautiful people, I will be back now. I'm getting a bit more energy back. I mean, look, I'm amazed that I've sat here for this long and not collapsed, because I've been very tired since I got here, trying to rebuild my physical energy. So, Wassail, beautiful people, thank you so much, Eve and Kathy. And yeah, I'm going to enjoy my mealtime. I'm going to make some... I'm going to make something with lentils and cauliflower, but I need some other bits to go with it. So, beautiful people, thank you all for staying here. Oh, there was an orb again. Wow, it just went down. Did you see it again, people? Did anyone see that orb? Well, it's at the very end. It just went, it just drifted down. So, Wassail, beautiful people. I don't actually know how to stop this.